All right. All right, Dave Williams and Chief Phil Lukens back to look at another agent. This agent is called Analyst. An analyst is designed to analyze things. Specifically, it supports all types of structured data, so JSON, Excel, Parquet, CSV, all of that stuff that's in tables, columns, and rows. It can extract those from PDF as well, and it supports analysis of imagery, JPEG, and a couple of other different formats. I'll have to look them back up. But Chief, we're going to analyze some crime data today. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you see this as value to officers on the streets and command staff and others?
Sure. I like to go back to that smaller agency that doesn't necessarily have a crime analyst, and you're told, all we know is that the vehicle break-ins or vehicle trespasses have increased, and the thefts out of vehicles has increased, and it's all over town. We can't even tell. We don't know what's going on, and we want you to get extra patrols out there, get your guys out there, and start stopping this. And as a street sergeant, you're like, okay, so I have, two or maybe three cops that I'm trying to send all over the place to figure out, where's the right place. This starts to talk about that hotspot policing, the predictive policing, that evidence-based analysis. I think of RMS systems like Central Square. You can do a quick file export, and it can be a JSON file. And now I have some structured data that I'm going to be able to kick this out, throw this into this frontier. It's enterprise, so we don't have to worry about that information getting out on the web and being a concern, but I'm going to be able to analyze this information and do something with it. And as a shift supervisor, I don't have a ton of time to do this. I'm trying to prepare for briefing. I need to do something in 2 minutes or less, or 5 minutes or less. So Dave, take it away. Show us what you do in this 5 minutes or less to be able to have information that I can now educatedly. I don't even need a PowerPoint presentation. I just want to speak about it in briefing. Let's do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So just so everyone's aware, the data we used was an export from open data out of Washington, D.C. from January through mid-March, listing out all the crimes in the area. We did a previous video around the same data, just showing how we created a map with Copilot. So I've already ran this, so I'm just going to click on it and let it run and then walk through it. And this is much, much quicker than Researcher because it's just analyzing the data. Now, if it's a super large file, it may take a few minutes, but it's very obvious that it's continuing to run. So I'll start to scroll down here. So again, all I prompted was, I gave it the file, a CSV, and I said, provide me a detailed analysis. I didn't even have to understand what I was looking for. Maybe I can do that as a follow-up question. I just wanted to understand what the data was and what it could tell me. So as you can see here, this takes you through the process, right? It's opening, it's parsing, it starts creating Python scripts to do various processes. Much of this would have had to have been done by a skilled analyst and somebody with some of these Python and scripting skills, or just, looking through pivot tables and working inside of Excel, which again is a whole nother skill set and can take time to really understand what is it that you're looking at and how useful is it. So after, I think, Chief, you correct me if I'm wrong, it took like 2 or 3 minutes for this thing to run. And I get there and it tells me, hey, there's 4,779 records, there's 26 columns, here's your key fields, there's this date and time stamps, there's longitude and latitude, shifts, etc. And then it starts breaking it down saying, here's some tables of all the different types of theft or types of crime by count. There's a distribution chart. It breaks it down by shifts, so you can start to understand when crimes are occurring, and then gives you a visual of that same, the different types of methods. So, were these others, or what did they involve, a weapon, a gun, or a knife? Again, a graphical representation of that, and then showing a crime trend. Crimes are really high in January and February and dropped off. And to be fair, the data was only the very, very beginning of March, so it didn't have a full month. And then it provides this distribution based on latitude and longitude, and this scatter plot of that is an overlay of DC. If you're familiar with the DC area, it's predominantly a chunk of a square, and then just gives you some
Now,
insights.
let-
So,
I just want to say, yes, we use DC's data because it was open and public and we could just put it out there. Your data is going to be, your agency specific. And so we recognize that you're going to see a lot less dots and a lot less everything, but it's going to show you the dots. It's going to show you the areas, and maybe you'll be able to see a trend. Maybe you'll be able to say a vehicle route or whatever it may be. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of smaller agencies that have their data published, so it's a little bit harder to grab it. But I would just say that is very valuable to be able to get a hold of, and help you to make this. And I know Dave was talking about the Python and the coding and all that. And to most supervisors, that's probably gibberish. But once you get to the charts, you'll be able to recognize what we need to do. And this helps us to go forward, so that way we can make some educated decisions on, do we want to park decoys out there? Do we want officers to be stationed at 2 different locations at this time range? You're going to be able to start seeing that information.
yeah, thanks, Chief. That's great, and I get that Python and all that's probably gibberish to people, and I think that's the point. Is you would have had to have had a skilled person that understood not only what it was but how to use it, and now you don't, right? You just have to be
Right.
able to put in and say, analyze my data, and then you could follow up with additional questions. You could start to get a map that you could click on. I mean, it's just a matter of iterating over the data, asking questions, becoming smarter about your information until you start to be able to tease out with the assistance of AI those data points that you're looking for, so you can be more effective.
I love it. And at the end of the day, now this shift supervisor is 10 times more educated and able to really provide great direction. And the city will be able to see great results without going through the expense of hiring an analyst, which is a huge lift, and in many cases just does not happen and probably will never happen in the future.
Great. Thanks, Chief. Thank you, everyone. Please comment, like, and share.